cool new lens. Nikon 105 2.8 MCZ macro. I've been excited for this lens for quite a while. As soon as it came out, I knew I needed to have it, and I've had it for about a month, and I've enjoyed every second of it. Go around the outside real quick, and I can say that it is definitely built well, because probably can't see it too well, but I 100% put on a log right there, and then I walked away, and then it fell off into the ground. So now it's covered in some mud and sand and some other stuff, but still works awesome. So whenever, you might not be able to see it too well on there, but they have a button here for the display, the LCD display on top of the lens for aperture, your distance in meters, and also your macro 1:1, 20:1, 5:1, all the way down to 1:1. Programmable lens function button right here. I have that set so that I can change it to 3D tracking, and I also use 3D tracking as a poor man's single point autofocus as well, so that whenever something's moving around, I can use that, lock onto it, and take pictures, because a lot of my macro is handheld and tripodless for the most part. And as everyone knows, when you come out to do macro, nothing sits still. No matter what you think you're doing, you think you know how much the wind blows. When you start doing macro outside, you go, man, the wind is moving 24/7. Focus limiter switch for full or 0.5 meters to 0.29 meters, which is fine and dandy, but I wish there was also a third option for somewhere in between. Because I mean, like, what if I want to take just pictures of people or something from me to the camera away within 5 to 10 feet? Do I want to focus to infinite on occasion? No, I don't want to do that. I just want it to be at a standard range, not, you know, 100 feet away or this close to the lens. Don't really want that. And then of course you have the autofocus or manual focus switch here too. And your VR switch is built into the camera, and I always program it in to the I menu so that I always have easy access for when I need it, and I don't have to go through the menus to find it. For the lens hood good. It's fine. It's a lens hood. It does what it's supposed to do. But I'm constantly forgetting that there's a push button on here. Like my 70 to 200 VR2 F mount had a push button on the lens cover, the lens hood, but for some reason I still mentally forget it. So you can press the button in, and then you can turn it, and it comes right off, which makes the lens look thicker when it's off, shall we say. But yeah, that's really it on the outside. Stereotypical, you know, lens cap, pinch cap. Nothing great about that. So let's go through my thoughts on wide open at 2.8 for portraits or video like this. Past couple of my videos on the channel have been shot on this. 2.8, it is ungodly sharp. It like rivals an 85 from all the tests I've seen. So that just shows you how sharp this thing is. And probably the only way to get a telephoto prime lens that's just as sharp is maybe get a 135 Plena. So yeah, that's pretty much it. For autofocus, I mean, it's a macro lens. This isn't exactly going to be, you know, lighting your pants on fire, but it is pretty quick. I've gotten pictures of bees flying in midair, just holding it, going like this, following the bee and walking closer and getting pictures of them in flight, which is super cool. I mean, you need like 1/32,000th of a shutter speed to stop them wings, but plenty doable on the Z9. It has a minimum focus of 0.96 feet, which is like about right there, give or take. Still far enough away where you're not going to be usually blocking light with the lens hood, but you can always take the lens hood off and you don't have to worry about it as much. But if you're going to be doing a lot of minimum focus, I highly recommend getting a you know, macro light. Couldn't think of the word. One negative I'm not super happy about with this is it doesn't take teleconverters. The F-mount lenses, they took teleconverters, so you could put a TC on their 105 and get a little bit more range out of it on a full frame. And if you want to do that on full frame, now you got to use crop mode or use a crop camera. This lens is only about 630 grams, so it is pretty light. I mean, it is on a Z9 with a cage, but I mean, this isn't exactly going to weigh you down a whole lot. And with this camera and some other cameras, I'll put a list up on there, you get Synchro VR, which is super cool because it combines the IBIS in the camera with the VR in the lens, and you get about 4.5 stops stabilization. So on those select cameras, you get a half a stop extra of stabilization, which works really nice for video and photos. And I have used this lens in the past month for, you know, family pictures. I've used it for my kid running around the yard. I have used it for your stereotypical flower macro, insect macro, video, talking head. Like, it is a nice workhorse lens. Like, it has an STM motor, stepping motor, so it's silent and you can't hear anything. Even if you turn it on, barely even audible. So here in a second, we're going to go to the Pittsburgh Zoo for the aquarium exhibits, and we're going to try and get some pictures of fish under the water, which really is just through glass, so bear with me on that. So we're going to fly over there, and we're going to have a nice slideshow of the point of view of the camera, the EVF, maybe some GoPro on top to show you what I'm seeing. So as you can see, even with the autofocus of the Z9, it has apparently fish auto detect now, which is cool. Which I guess that means I need to buy a $10,000 underwater housing for this and go scuba diving. So yeah, it's an amazing lens. I have no negatives about it. I mean, you can buy a used copy of this for about $800. I even seen the other day that Nikon was doing a deal where you could buy this lens brand new with a warranty and everything from Nikon for about $850. I think normally it's like $1,100 or $1,200, which I don't think that's a real price. Never really seen it for that price new. So anyways, if you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you out there. Best of luck.